It's your boy DJ Wolf here again. I hope everybody's doing okay. I had something else on my mind I briefly want to talk about. This is regarding an episode of one of my favorite shows, Unsung, on TV One that I saw about just a couple of days ago, matter of fact. About this very young R&B group. And they started out young too. I was like, wow. I think the youngest member of the brothers was like 7 to 8, maybe 9 years old, something like that. They were called, I think they were ranked 9 or 13, 14, something like that. What really blew me away was your brother. I think he was about, 15, something like that? No, he was older than that. No, he was like 15, 16, 17 years old. I didn't know he was that old. But I know he was like probably about 16, 17 years old. Well, maybe a little bit younger. Just a tad bit. But anyway, they were divorced. And they had big hits out. They had a couple. They actually signed to a record deal in 1986 and came out with their first hit in '89 with Down My Heart. I think it was Down My Heart. Yeah, it was one of the first. Well, that was Down My Heart was one of the first hits. I do remember that. But anyway, they were hit makers for. What are y'all doing? They were major hit makers for a number of years, right? And come to find out, these Bamas, I ain't gonna call them Bamas, these youngins, because they were, the crazy part about it was, I know you ain't doing me. No, you're not. The crazy part about it was that they might have been maybe 15 younger than I was. 15, yeah, about at least 15 years younger than I was. At the time, yeah, something like that. Some crazy, ridiculous number. But they weren't a whole lot younger. They were some way. Anyway, to make a long story short, they had a hit. They had hit after hit. They had a lot of hits out. I was shocked. To about the early 90s, and then they fell off. You didn't hear much from them after that. And then in the meantime, what they were doing, they were learning their craft. They were learning how to produce records for other people while still in their early teens. I was shocked. I did not know that. They were producing hits for Tevin Campbell, Bobby Brown, and a bunch of others. I was like, seriously? But they were producing and writing songs for these guys. And they were still young. I was shocked. And then they also produced and written a couple of their own albums before they eventually fell off. But I was shocked. I was completely shocked. And then there was one video they showed that they did, I think, in the mid-90s, that when they got older. And I was like, I don't even remember the video. But they did all right for themselves. And it amazed me throughout all of the stuff that they went through, and with their father, kind of falling off a little bit for a while, and mom left them. Well, mom left them before they actually hit it big. Left the father before they got big. And so by the time they got around there, and did the thing, then they were off and they were seasoned. They were getting seasoned within a few years as a professional recording act and producers. I was like, wow. And they were like, these guys weren't even legal. Most of them weren't even legal to drive yet by the time they were doing that. I was shocked. And I was like, no wonder I hadn't heard from them in a while, because they were doing other things. They weren't just making records, and they actually didn't fall off. They continued with their musical endeavors, right through today. I think the oldest son is like 44 years old. I didn't know that. I was like, he wasn't much older than me. Shoot. So I always liked the music. I did like the music a little bit, but I was like, shocked. And I did not realize, because they would say, well, they were the next Jackson 5. And I'm thinking first, I was like, nah. But you know what? They really were that good in terms of the music, in terms of producing all that, because Jacksons were doing that for a while when they were young too. They took control of the music eventually. But they were a little older, but these guys were younger. I said, wow. It's crazy. And I told my wife, I was just telling her what we watched. I said they must have took a school of music producing your own records from Michael Jackson or somebody, because they said these guys got in the studio after about the first album or so, and they started learning the ropes. And I said, oh, that kind of blew me away, though. I said, wow, you know. So I'm actually I commend them, man, for that. And they later on, three of the four members actually regrouped and started. They started doing a different type of music and stuff, and went overseas and stuff, and were doing music. Lived overseas for a while, and I thought I saw something last year where they did a R&B rap record that was pretty good. I didn't realize that was the same group. I heard it was like the Boys. I was like, the Boys. That's how they remind me of. I said, are these the guys that you hadn't seen since the 1980s and 90s? And sure enough, when they re-showed the video, I said, yeah, that was them. I saw that video last year. So they kind of back a little bit, doing some of what they used to do, but not quite in that style. More on the hip hop side, but it was pretty cool, man. And the thing of it is, there were 4 productive young men doing their thing from early on. And even though their father had, fell off from the wayside, because of issues, his personal demons and stuff, they still kept it together as a tight-knit group. They still kept it together as a family. At least, and so, in other words, from what I heard and what I saw on the show, the dad was kind of like a Joe Jackson a little bit. But I guess mom split off from the dad before he got really in being Joe Jackson, so to speak. But nevertheless, I salute those guys, man. And from what I gather, they're all very productive. You never heard any. My wife and I was just saying that too. You didn't hear about any real scandals about those guys ever, and that's a smart move. You got them out there doing what they love doing. They've been doing it since they were very young. They've always been talented. Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. I commend them for that. I really do. I really do. But that's how you do it. And that's why I'm going to say this. That's why fathers are important. Fathers are builders of are the real builders of black men. Not black women. See, this is the problem that I have with this Me Too movement shit. Okay? Because they're pretending like we are the builders of the foundation of children, and we are the real head of the house, all that other crap, and you clogging these kids' minds with that bullshit. And I was looking at, like I said, I look at the TV One thing about the boys, and even though their father had personal demons, he still was pretty much a part of their lives, according to what they were saying. He was the one that helped guide them and mold them to be where they're at. I can actually say that myself from personal experience. My dad, I mean, I ain't perfect. I didn't consider myself perfect with my son. And he, for the most part, he's turned out to be pretty good. He's trying to be doing a lot of great things that I'm glad he is doing, versus a lot of other stuff that he ain't doing, that I'm glad he's not doing. And same thing with my dad with me, and but to make a long story short, he wasn't perfect growing up. I mean, but my father, my dad was very much in my life, regardless of how I felt at times with him sometimes. But that's all I care about. And all these talking about, but you don't need no that, you disagree. And I get tired of this, because black women and black society anymore wear this mess about mama's the leader of the family like a heart on the sleeve. They do. They ride with it. Matter of fact, Women Encourage. I was watching a show about almost 2 years ago. What's the name of the show? I think I'm more. What's the guy that passed name? Who's Ben Tanker, instrumentalist. He's a gospel instrumental artist, and he's a pastor in Mumford, Tennessee. one of his daughters was bragging about trying to have a baby out of wedlock. She literally said she wanted to have a baby out of wedlock. She didn't have a problem going through in vitro fertilization, whatever they call that. She had no problem with that at all. She didn't want to do it traditionally. She was like, no, I don't want to do it. I just want to go ahead and have him put the stuff in me and have the baby. Yeah. She's not one of the relationships at all. She just want to have a baby. That goes to show you how fucked up the minds of black women are today. I'm serious, and I hate to say it, but it's true. You know, they're in the mind frame where people are telling them for the last 50 years, you go ahead and have kids without no man. You don't need no man for that. Yeah. Don't build on relationships where you can actually build strong black kids to go out there and be productive. Nah, we don't need that. That's the worst thing that could have ever happened to our generation, to our culture, to our society, is that women, in general, are telling our women that you can do all things bad by yourself without a man. That you don't need a man to define you. And I'm going to tell you something. It's not about the man defining you. It's about you and the man defining the establishment of a family. Okay? Not mama raising 10 kids and trying to teach a boy how to be a man when she can't. Okay? Because there's nothing you can define about that shit. I'm sorry. I'm not going with that freaking narrative. It just pisses me off because I'm about to go street in a minute about this shit. You know, for real. I think personally, y'all dumb as fuck if you think that that defines you. And any guy, and I'm sorry, who think the mama defines manhood for men is stupid. I'm sorry. You gotta be stupid that you believe that. You know, I'm serious. You gotta be stupid to even think that way at all. Because there's no way I'm thinking that way. No way. No way in hell. You know. But you got people who got them stupid thoughts. I can't get over. Nope, can't get over. I ain't gonna fight it. Don't give a damn. These people thrive out here, I swear. You know, and in lies a big problem. Is that these, you know, some of these so-called mothers, brainwash these young men to think that the head of the household is supposed to be led by a woman. That's why a lot of these guys don't want to do shit. You know, if the man ain't, you know, staying on you to make you do what you need to do as a man, do you think the man gonna care if a woman tell him? No. You know, that's why a lot of these guys, a lot of these young men out here today are so far behind. It ain't because ain't no necessarily. I mean, it's not necessarily because of no jobs out there. You know, there are jobs out there. The problem is, we got a society of young men, and this is a fact. I mean, I'm not talking out of turn about this. We got a society of young men who follow certain stereotypes and think that's the way to go. That's a fact. I'm not pulling no punches on this. This is all true. And I'm not talking out of turn about that at all. You know? And some guys think, well, you know, like I had a young man I talked to about 2 years ago. I said, what you want to do when you got out of high school? He said, I want to play football. I said, well, let me ask you something. What if you can't make it in football, what you gonna do? I mean, you got a fallback plan, you got another type of trade or major or something, or career you wanted to go? You know what he said? No, I just want to play football. See? You got brainwashed by somebody believing that your only way out is football. That's the mentality that's out here today. And you got the mothers like that. Like the one mother who Son, you guys also. This is on ESPN. It's online too. Where you got mothers out here. One mother, I think her son he got picked to go. He wanted to go to University of Florida. He was offered multiple scholarships, but that was one of the places. The school she wanted him to go to was University of Alabama, and she wanted him to go there so bad. Her and her mother, who was also his grandmother, had on jerseys at this rally. I think the rally was at his high school. It was on national TV. I don't know if it was live or not, but it was on national TV. And they had nerve to have the jerseys for the other team on. When he's telling you right from, and they knew he wanted to go to Florida. And the moment he mentioned it, her and her mother literally walked out the press conference. I mean, with such disrespect. She put her own needs before the needs of her own son, who actually was going to be out there putting his body at work all the time and risking his body getting injured day after day. You know. It wasn't like it was her decision, it was his decision. It was nobody else's decision but his, and his alone. You know. And she had the fucking nerve to impose her decision on him. That's what pissed me off. That pissed me off so bad when I saw that. I said, you got a fucking nerve. I was so mad at that woman. You know? And I know what it was about. Or likely. About that woman getting paid. Somebody was probably... I can't pour. Somebody was paying her ass to decide, nah, I'm going to go ahead and I want him to go to Florida. To Alabama. I don't care. Yeah. That's a selfish bitch. I'm sorry. I don't know her. And I ain't trying to disrespect her, but you got to be a bitch to really try to make this all about you instead of all about your son. You know? That's just a selfish move. I'm still upset about that. You know. But we want to regard every black woman in America as queen. Not every black woman you know is a queen. You got black women out there that are whores. You got black women out there that are bitches. And you do got black women out there that are true queens. Now, the only queens I know are the ones that keep it real. Okay? Can't put that title on every woman. And I will never do that. You got to be about it to be about it. Bottom line. DJ Wolf, out.